Both the Blue Fire and Blitz were undefeated headed into Week 3 of Downey. Let's take a look at the action. Blue Fire Land Sharks. The 2-0 Blue Fire taking on the 1-1 Land Sharks. The Land Sharks got an early turnover to start the game, but that was pretty much one of their few highlights in this one. Not to be left out, Brandon Thornton did have 7 grabs, 95 yards, and 2 TDs. Blue Fire responded with this one-hander right here and pretty much dominated the rest of the game. Jose Cobian led the way with 6 grabs, 100 yards, and 3 TDs.
Beast mode.
With only 6 players, the Blue Fire crushed the Land Sharks 52-12. Ball Hawks Gators. Both teams are striving to get their first win, and only one will walk away with the victory. Both teams wanted the W badly, and the rain wasn't going to stop them from their goal. The Gators tied the game late with this TD catch by Jerry High. Tommy Schrang led them with 9 grabs, 100 yards, and 2 TDs. Ballhawks drove downfield for the game-winning score. Then QB Shamar Ortiz gives a pump fake, and then he hits the post corner route to Gio Fernandez in the back of the end zone for the game-winning TD. Fernandez, 13 catches, 105 yards, and a TD. An INT sealed the Ballhawks' victory as they would take this one 37-30 for their first ever win in Tough. Congratulations, fellas. Ballhawks Land Sharks. The Ballhawks look to build off their first victory as they take on the Land Sharks. Things looked great at the start of this game for the Ballhawks, but then they made a bunch of mistakes and the Land Sharks were able to capitalize on them. The Land Sharks, ready to make a name of their own in the Warrior Division, win this one 46-26. Blitz Bobcats. The 3-0 Blitz take on the 2-0 Bobcats, and someone is going to have to lose. There wasn't much offense going into the game as both teams were playing sloppy ball in the rain. The Blitz have done a good job building off of last season's disappointing debut. They came surging out the gate so far, and these boys are balling out. The Bobcats are newcomers to the league and ready to earn some respect. This one would be a nail-biter, and there would be some respect earned, but ultimately the Blitz would beat the Bobcats 26-24. Blitz Mud Dogs. After another thrilling victory, the Blitz looked to carry that momentum against the feisty Mud Dogs, and feisty is the best way to describe them. This game was all about the Blitz. The Blitz, as we mentioned, have put a lot of work in the offseason. They've added pieces and they've worked on their chemistry. The Mud Dogs didn't seem to have an answer to Blitz's big weapons in the game. It doomed them from the first snap. The Blitz is a very aggressive team, and they showed it this week as they take this one 40-19 and go 5-0 on the season. Renegades Bandits. The Renegades are ready to continue their ways as they've been playing well since joining Tough a few seasons ago. The Renegades have a dual QB system that seems to be working for them. The advantage is that the defense doesn't know what to do and it keeps them on their heels. But it can always be a way to knock your own team out of sync, like this INT. The Bandits are young and they have some nice pieces, but they have to figure out their chemistry. The Renegades take this one 50-26, led in large part by Brody Renaud, who would have 10 grabs, 165 yards, and 3 TDs.
Beast mode.
Vipers Mean Machine. The 3-0 Vipers take on last year's Spartan Cup runner-ups in Mean Machine. The Vipers have had a great start to their season, and a win here could catapult them into the rankings. The Mean Machine had other things in mind as they came out to send a message to the Vipers and to the rest of the Spartan Conference. Their message was that their championship appearance was no fluke, and their loss last week was. Silvino Sanchez would come out swinging. He'd have 8 catches, 100 yards, and 3 TDs.
Beast mode.
The Mean Machine destroyed the Vipers in this one. They would take it easily, 44-13, sending notice to the league in the process. Vipers Renegades. The Vipers try to bounce back as they take on another top-tier Spartan team in the Renegades. The Vipers were flowing in the beginning of the game when suddenly the Renegades turned up the heat and this game got very chippy. It looked like they were playing tackle football at one point, which is a big no in Tough. These two teams do not like one another very much, Players had to intervene and carry their teammates away to avoid any kind of penalty. Smart move, fellas. The Renegades would turn up the defense and pour on the points. They put a beat down on the Vipers, 48-27. Lethal Bandits. The Bandits try to find a win as they take on the upstart Lethal, but an INT on the second play of the game wouldn't help their cause. After a slow start to their season, this Lethal team seems to be poised to turn it around. Team Lethal comes away with this one as they win 42-18. The Bandits have a lot of work to do. Lethal Honey Badgers. Team Lethal will get to test their new skills as they take on the ever-athletic Honey Badgers, aka the Baby Black Panthers. This game was back and forth. Both teams are trying to take the next step in the Downey Spartan division. And I'm telling you, these Honey Badgers are not messing around as they brought their A game. But Team Lethal had a response for every Badger attack. They even scored this TD with under 30 seconds left in the game, along with the PAT, to win this one 44-40. Black Panthers Raptors. The Black Panthers take on the veteran Raptors. One thing that goes under the radar with the Raptors is how well they pull flags. The Black Panthers are one of the most athletic teams in all of Tough, and yet the Raptors kept them at bay with their flag pulling. The Black Panthers seem to have adjusted to the Titan division because they put up a fight against the Raptors. But the Raptors have finesse, speed, agility, and unmatched chemistry. Oh yeah, they also have Lester Thomas now as he would stroll his way into the end zone. RJ Johnson led the team with 7 grabs, 155 yards, and 3 TDs.
Beast mode.
This game came down to a few plays. After a late Raptors score with under 30 seconds to go, it was the Raptors defense that held on to their 36-32 victory over the Black Panthers. Program Bears. No Chuck Lozano again this week for the Bears as they turn to their veteran QB and captain, Tristan Fontaine. He was their QB for all their seasons in Spartan and the resident QB of the team. But the program have James Calhoun, who may be the most gifted player in all of Tough. With the exception of a handful of plays, the Bears couldn't keep up with the veteran chemistry and firepower of the program. The only bright spot was Jesse Ferguson and his 5 grabs, 81 yards, and 2 TDs. The program take this one 40-18. Also, keep in mind that Aaron Mays has yet to play. Look out for this squad. Impact Raptors. Both Impact and the Raptors go into this contest 3-0, and someone has to lose. It was a highly intense game from the first play. A lot of pride at stake in this one as the Raptors would strike first. This was a nail-biter. Both the Impact and the Raptors were making big plays. The Raptors were down 2 TDs late and score, followed by a turnover. Mark Hernandez would hit Marcus Stevens for the TD and the PAT to cut the lead to 3. The Impact comes back with under a minute to go and QB Manny Sid hits Chris Williams for the 9-point lead. Williams would have 7 grabs, 92 yards, and 2 TDs. Even with a buzzer TD by the Raptors, Impact would win this one 36-35. Unbelievable. Great game between two great teams. Impact Bears. The Bears in their 0-3 cannot afford to lose to the 3-0 Impact, who are surging right now after their victory against the Raptors. The Bears would strike first in this one. If there was ever a wake-up game for the Bears, it was this game because they put on their best complete game of the season and finally got a chance to show that they can play in the Titan. They dominated on both sides of the field and absolutely stunned the Impact and the league with a victory 38-20. They would get their first ever Titan win. Congratulations, fellas. Program Marshals. The program go into this game against the Marshals with a ton of momentum. They would continue that momentum as they were clicking on both sides of the ball, and the Marshals just couldn't seem to get much going. The program breezed through this one 32-12 to go 3-1 on the season. Blue Fire Bobcats. After losing a player, the Blue Fire were undermanned in this game. They were hoping to pull out one more upset as they start off the game strong. But the Bobcats were having none of it, and they put their claws in the blue fire to extinguish them pretty quickly. The blue fire fought as much as they could, but they couldn't do much. The Bobcats take this one 52-24, tying the blue fire with a 3-1 record. And those were your Week 3 games in Downey. Until the next time, I'm Eric R. Norris.